Alright guys, we have done some damage since the last time you've seen. We tore all the drywall off this wall. Had some mold that was behind that sink, so we had to replace that anyway. So we figured while we were in here, we put a couple more outlets. We have an outlet up here for, might put that in the top cabinet so we can have over the cabinet lights or under the mount lights on the bottom of the cabinet. We have one over here too. That'll be hidden inside the cabinets. When we get the cabinets up, we'll cut a hole for that. And there was no outlets at the countertop area. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 now. And there wasn't a light up here. Now we have a light switch. So that'll be good to go. So right now I'm gonna put some new insulation in. We had to take that old insulation out because some mice got behind there and dug it all up. We actually found a couple spots in the wire where it was chewed, so we'll replace that and it'll be good to go. Insulate this, put some drywall on. We're gonna put a sliding glass door here. So don't have the door yet, so we're gonna start the drywall down there, and then maybe tomorrow or sometime later this week we'll get a sliding glass window so we know exactly where the cutout has to be. We're gonna be hanging drywall here. First time giving it a try with the help of Katie here. We got this wall. We're gonna start hanging it, and then we gotta figure out, we picked up a sliding glass door today and we're gonna have to rough that in, but I'm excited to just hang some drywall for today. never a dull moment here. Last night we found that we had clogged sewer drain, so we snaked that out after about a couple hours trying to get through all the bends in the plumbing. Finally made it. And then we need a new wax ring because we noticed that it was leaking downstairs. There was water coming down through. So when we pulled the toilet off, we seen that the wax ring was no good. So we figured when we have it off, might as well just get a new toilet because it's got a bunch of dirty water, flaky stuff that keeps on coming into the bowl when you flush it. So we'll have a fresh toilet now. We got the new toilet installed here. Just have to put some caulking around the base and we'll be good to go. Got the septic drain line all unplugged. That was eventful. We had a couple hours getting the snake ran through the pipes, but we got her. And now I just learned about these S-trap systems, which is this. This is an 1.25 inch pipe, and they had an 1.5 inch S-trap on here. So what was happening is this pipe, they ended up having too far in here. It's only supposed to go to here where it's got that collar there. The pipe was all the way down here. Don't know why. And it was actually clogging the water there. So it was building up, coming out of this fitting. And it was just a mess. So we got the right S-trap on there now. The S-trap is just so there's always water sitting in here. So your septic gases don't come up through and make your house smell like sewage. We had to put an adapter on here to get it shrunk down to 1.25 inches. Well, I got that all figured out and we're good to go. Another thing we found out, if you're having water pressure problems at your faucet, reach down here. You might need a set of pliers. Untwist that and check and see if you have buildup in the screen and underneath. Might save you a lot of hassle and get your water pressure back to working like it should be. Alright guys, lighting's not very good down here, but we are having some problems with the septic. Stuff doesn't seem to be traveling to the septic tank like it should be. There's the last thing in the line going to the septic tank, which is the kitchen sink, which that's running out to the tank fine. But the toilets keep on plugging with, there's no reason that they should be. But we found that there's a belly in this line, so it should have constant drop from there to the tank, and we were measuring it, and it does have a belly in it, so it's causing things to get clogged up easier. So what we're going to do is put a clean out somewhere in line here, just so it's easier to snake this if we ever have a problem again. Might as well do it now that we're in here. Then we're going to snake it, get the belly out of this line, and hopefully get everything flowing out of here. But we had a little bit of a mess yesterday. We seen that there was some electrical tape wrapped around this pipe. Not sure, let me see if we can get a light on there. It's like somebody started to cut it with a hole saw, then they decided to wrap electrical tape around it. Well, we were standing here and like, man, I wonder if there's anything underneath that electrical tape. And we started peeling on it, and a buddy of mine started helping me, so he could barely reach, so I brought a concrete block over. We peeled the rest of the way off, and the last tug, since the sewer line was backed up between here somewhere, it just flowed like a river out of there, all of the septic. So we got some buckets and yeah, some fun stuff. So we gotta fix that, put a coupling there, and then put a clean out somewhere in here. So we'll check back in with you guys when we're all done here. Well, that turned into tearing all the septic plumbing out. We noticed that there was about a ½ inch of hard packed stuff in the lines, and it was not going to be coming out because the pipes had a belly in it, and it just must have sat in there and dried out instead of flowing out. So you can probably smell this situation through the video. I'm just glad it's not 90 degrees out. The window's open. I gotta go get a bunch of pipes and fittings and all that good stuff. While we're at it, we're gonna change some things around. We gotta add more of a slope to those lines because I think that's the biggest reason why it was getting plugged up, is because it didn't have enough downward slope by the time it exits the basement there. So, oh, good fun. Oh, and when we were cutting that last fitting, I nicked the main water line coming from the well with the hacksaw. So that was Niagara Falls down here. But I'm just glad the basement's not finished yet. We can get all this stuff figured out and go from there. Well, guys, we got a lot of work to do. So let's take a look at our old pipes here. These are old pipes. We're gonna have to mock everything up. Just to give you an idea of what was in those pipes. Honestly, I probably don't want to see it, but that is everything that was in just one of those pipes. So there's definitely a belly in the line where it didn't have a downward slope the whole way, and stuff sat in there and just hardened and made it really easy for the pipes to get clogged. So we got all the new pipes over here on the trailer. Bunch of fittings. We definitely got extra just in case. I'll be making a bunch of trips and take back what we don't use. But that should be everything we need. We get all new septic plumbing in the house. Hopefully we'll never have problems with it again. Well, we got the new sewage lines installed. We got about 10 inches of drop from one end to the other, which before we had about 2 inches of drop. So things should flow a lot better. It worked out really nicely. Well, it's a warm day here at the new house, and we found a leak. At least we're finding this stuff out now before we finish the basement off. Oh guys, we had quite the fiasco yesterday. It hit about 50 degrees here. It was raining, and we have a bunch of ice buildup on the driveway here. About 2 inches thick of ice, and it was melting and running straight to the basement window, of course. So we came in with a backhoe, dug a trench down along here. It refroze last night, so everything is an icy mess. Well, tried to divert the water as best as we could with the frozen ground. The ground was still frozen, but we were able to break a little bit of the ice. I think the problem was it was getting on the other side of this sidewalk, because this was all even, about the same grade of ice. So as it was melting, it was running right down into this window because they didn't seal this right, apparently. It shouldn't really leak, but you can tell they have a little bit of a gap between the foundation. So come warmer weather, we'll have to dig that out and maybe put a drain it along here to the front of the house, and then over to that side down, so it doesn't get swampy in here. In here 30 seconds ago, we got a snow squall alert. Here we are. Got the trim all taped off. Now holes filled. Ready for caulk and touch up. And we're much done with this room after that. Yeah, check back in and we're done. Alright, the final touches. Vacuuming it up. We're gonna caulk all these seams. We'll be done. Besides getting the closet door on.
Hey everybody, so Nathan and I were out here cleaning up some junk today. As you can see, they left a bunch of stuff here. So this is some of the stuff we found that we're gonna keep. There was some other wire, maybe from an electric fence that they had, just kind of laying around over here. And I thought it started to smell like a dead animal. And so I have a feeling that it's probably coming from inside this fridge. So definitely prepared because it stinks and there's already flies over here. So I have a feeling it's probably something that's in here. Oh my gosh. This is literally disgusting. So that's going to be going straight to the dump. There's also another one. I don't know if I have access to it. Over here. I don't really smell anything over here though. But I can't get to it because of all those pallets. So we're going to burn them. And it's probably going to be the same exact thing. Literally. That is disgusting.